truth is, I think there are so many people who are addicted to being miserable. There are so many people who they're so pessimistic. They're always going to pick out the negative things about something. They're never going to be satisfied. So no matter what you like, what song you like, what show you like, you go on social media, there's always going to be a handful of people that are complaining. Always. There will never be a time where everyone is completely satisfied. Whenever an artist comes out with a song, there's always going to be a handful of people who don't like it and complain about it on the internet. When a show comes out, there's always going to be someone who doesn't like the show. When a show comes to an ending, there's always going to be a handful of people who are not satisfied with that ending. And this goes for everything: books, shows, songs, even down to like what a celebrity you like wore to some fashion show. There's always going to be a handful of people who don't like it. Today, I'm going to be talking about my struggles with social media as someone who has tried to stop using social media so many times, and then I still find myself doom scrolling again. We live in a digital world, and there really is no escaping social media as much as we want to. I mean, I've tried so many times to get off my phone and get off social media and do social media detoxes, which at times can be very helpful. But I'm literally in college for marketing, so it's kind of important for me in my career to keep up with social media trends. I've actually learned how to navigate using social media without it having such a negative effect on my mind, and that's what I want to share with you guys today: how to navigate using social media without it having such negative effects on your mind. The reason I originally stopped wanting to use social media actually had nothing to do with the time I was spending on it. It had everything to do with the negativity that came with it. I was finding that there were so many things that I loved, like, for example, the TV show, and I found nothing wrong with these TV shows. There was nothing I disliked. But then I would open up TikTok, for example, and I would find someone complaining about something that had to do with the show. For example, I'm going to use Stranger Things. So the ending of Stranger Things, I watched the last episode, and I was totally satisfied with it. I thought it was a great ending, and I loved it. I go on social media, and then there is one post where someone is dissecting the entire last episode, going through everything wrong with that episode and what they didn't like. And then you read the comments, and then there's just thousands of people agreeing, and not only agreeing, but adding to it, pointing out other things that that person didn't mention that they didn't like, and so forth. And then as I continue to scroll, it's like something that I would just watch and I thought, oh, that was a good ending. Now I'm seeing hundreds and hundreds of people complain about it. And then it alters your perception. You start to think that, oh, maybe the ending wasn't good. And now you have negative feelings towards something that you were just pleased with. It's so easy to be easily persuaded through social media in a negative way. With knowing that and just using social media, but being so much more aware of the negativity that comes with it and not allowing it to alter your perception, using social media has gotten so much easier for me. Because when I now scroll on social media and I see someone being so negative, instead of letting that negativity alter my perception about something so that I now have a negative perception towards that, I instead am so aware, like, wow, that person, it sucks that this person chooses to look at something so negatively. It sucks that this person wants to pick out the negative things about something, and I don't let it affect my perception. And if you can master that, if you can master not letting people's negative thoughts, negative beliefs about something alter your perception, then you will be fine. But you have to master that in order to be okay with, using social media all the time and not letting it have such a negative effect on you. And once I mastered that, everything changed for me. The way I view social media changed for me. It actually got a little bit easier to not be on social media so much because I have the understanding that there's a lot of negative people out there, and not wanting to be around that negativity or consume that negativity made me feel a little bit more comfortable with not being on social media. Anyways, this is just my take on this. Everyone is different, but I think it's just so important to not let other people's negative perceptions of something affect your perception of something. Make your own beliefs about something, and don't go on social media and start reading what other people are saying and all the negative things about something, and then let that alter your perception on something that you once loved, you once liked.